to yours. Each and every time these interactions are created, it allows us an opportunity to create a link, a bridge from our reality to your reality, and in so doing we can create more easily a new third reality in which we can more and more in every way interact and play. So we thank you for this opportunity and for allowing us to experience the gift that each and every one of you individually is and all of you collectively are, in allowing us to see that many more facets of the multidimensional crystal of creation. So in return for the gift that you are giving to us, in allowing us this experience with you, I ask, how may we now be of service to you? You may begin with your question.
Greetings, Bashar.
And you good day.
My name is Charlene.
If you insist.
Yes. And for most of my life, and most consciously the last 6 years, I have been pursuing my highest excitement to the best of my ability with no expectation of the outcome.
That's the formula, yes.
That's right. And the results have been marvelous.
Of course.
I have a question that has the potential and intention to affect every single human on the planet.
Yes. And that would be what?
My question is in regards to this excitement, which consists of a varying assortment of related actions and one very specific, unique, radical intention.
Which is?
This intention is always run on blueprints, and every direction and next step has always come easily, and as of my 33rd birthday, these blueprints have run out, and I have no idea how to proceed with this excitement or an intention, and I have created a belief for the last 22 months that you will be of some assistance, whether that's guidance or defragmenting my ego. It would be an honor to receive.
Oh, all right. The idea that you are unable to act on your excitement is just a matter of perspective. You may have a definition of what that means that is holding you back from taking it in the simplest possible form. When we talk about the idea of acting on your excitement because it is in alignment with your true frequency, that's what excitement is, as well as a communication from your higher mind, the physical translation of the communication from your higher mind translates through your body as the sensation of excitement. So when you act on your excitement, it doesn't necessarily have to present itself as a large-scale project, as a life-spanning career. When we talk about acting on your excitement, all we really mean, if you can think of no other way to do it, is look around at every moment for the options that are available to you at that moment, no matter how simple they may seem. And if you just pick the one that contains even just a little tiny bit more excitement than any other, and you act on that first, you will then create the accelerated momentum that will build and build and build and build and attract to you more and more and more and bigger and bigger and bigger opportunities for more expression of excitement. We will assume, and you can confirm this if you wish, that you are here today because you were excited to come. Yes?
Absolutely.
Well, that's as simple as it needs to be. When this dialogue with us is over, you can then look around and say, all right, what's available to me now as another option? What can I act on? What are my options? It can be as simple as taking a walk, reading a book, calling a friend, having a meal. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. That's where many of you get caught up. Oh, what's my excitement? It must be something profound. Well, eventually it might be, but it doesn't have to start that way. Start small, start simple. If you don't know where to go, then you always know what options are available to you, and you will always be able to tell which one contains at least just a little bit more excitement than any other. If you are willing to act on that first, it will lead you through synchronicity to the next place you need to be, and the next thing that will excite you, and the next, and the next, and the next, and it will build from there. Do you understand the concept?
Absolutely, thank you.
Does this help?
Yes, may I tell you specifically what the intention is?
You may if you wish, but remember that sometimes when you use the word intention, it can be used in a pure way, but don't confuse it with the idea of insistence on a particular outcome.
Absolutely.
All right.
I wanted to know what you would say to a human such as myself that believes on a physical, mental, spiritual, emotional level to a chemical, molecular, atomic degree that they have the ability to inspire and lead a portion of the global populace under the principles of peace, love, unity, and respect, mending race relations using two developed methodologies that create and sustain inner and world peace at the same time, resulting in a reduction of mass suffering.
The first thing I would say is create a shorter pitch so that people will understand in a much simpler and more powerful way what it is you intend to do. And of course, the shortest pitch of all and the best way to demonstrate that would be simply the actions that you take in that direction. Because then you become a living example of what you're talking about. You understand?
Absolutely.
Does that help?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Are you taking all the actions you could be taking in that direction? Are you using your imagination sufficiently to come up with what you call out-of-the-box thinking and doing things that would be representative of the example you wish to set for others so they can see in you that if it's possible for you to live that life, it might be possible for them too? Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely. I do that every day.
Well, then why ask the question?
My people told me you would say that, and I tried to ask something where I wouldn't end up with that result.
Why not? Do you think there is something missing?
What I'm doing is the most fun and the most challenging thing, and
that's wonderful. Challenges are how you grow in life. Yeah. Challenges don't have to be a negative thing. You are here to challenge yourself. You're here to stretch. You're here to grow. You're here to discover a new perspective of yourself. And the way you do that is through challenges, because challenges are representative of the theme you chose to explore in this life. Absolutely. Challenges give you the information that you need to be of assistance to other people by going through an experience that then gives you the information you can share with them. So they don't have to go through it.
Absolutely.
You follow?
Absolutely.
So it's good that you are being challenged. That's a wonderful thing, not a negative.
Absolutely. There are very few resources for me to follow in terms of what I'm doing.
What does that mean, very few resources? Can you be specific?
I'm not familiar with anybody else that is doing exactly what I am doing.
So what? Be the first.
All right.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Create your own resources, yes?
Absolutely.
Well, then there you go. You'll have enough resources when you create them.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. This is all about being bold enough to take the actions you need to take. If you can't find what you need, create what you need.
Bashar, thank you for co-creating.
And to you, good day.
I'm going to follow on what you were saying about creating resources, and in a slightly different way. When I speak to people about you, as part of my highest excitement is knowledge and kind of finding out my own truth.
Yes. And?
I have a great issue with speaking with people of great trauma, and they often...
You're doing okay right now.
Well, when I speak to people about what I see as a beautiful, enlightening, and healing love that you provide, unconditional love, to which I strive for, I'm wondering...
Yes.
I'm speaking to people of trauma, and they often say something along the lines of, well, that sounds like a really privileged philosophy. How do I just create my own resources?
Well, do you have ways of showing them? Do you understand the principle behind when we talk about acting on your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on an outcome? Do you understand why that formula works, and can you explain it to others?
Well, it's based on it being my highest path. It's my highest vibration.
The path of least resistance. The truth for you.
Right.
And everyone has the ability to recognize their own truth through the things that excite them the most. Yes, that they are most able to do without insisting how the outcome ought to look.
So often I would say, where's the simpler pitch to somebody who says, yeah, well, why would somebody incarnate themselves in such struggle? And I've heard you speak on autism, and I was maybe other cases.
There are as many reasons as there are people, but if you want a basic answer, understand again that sometimes it's easier to know, it's easier to learn what you do prefer by having an experience of what you don't prefer. The idea is to use the polarities in a constructive way. I'll put it to you in a philosophical statement. It's easier to see the light of a single candle when it's surrounded by darkness. Do you understand?
Yes,
It's
where it's
easier
going.
to see your path when there is so much around it that you know is not your path. So many times in physical reality, you will attract certain ideas that are not necessarily representative of your preference, that are representative of darkness and negativity, because it gives you an opportunity by comparison to know the difference between that and what you actually are. So if you use the darkness, the negativity, in a positive way, then you will only get a beneficial effect. But if you're worried about the idea of the negativity, then all you're doing is adding more negativity, adding more darkness. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So yeah.
Is this helping? Because it's all about
degree.
changing your perspective and your definitions of things. Because your definitions are what create your experience of reality. Do you understand that?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So when you take the initiative to use your imagination to look at a circumstance and see beyond how it looks on the surface and create your own definition of why that circumstance is in your life, that's a positive definition, then regardless of how the situation originally concurred, regardless of anyone else's opinion in that same situation, you will always only get a beneficial and positive effect out of it, and that can be the living example that shows others how they can also infuse every circumstance in their life with a positive meaning in order to get a positive effect for themselves as well, instead of succumbing to outdated, outmoded, old-fashioned beliefs that say this is that and it can be nothing else. Because there are no facts like that in existence. Those are all just perspectives and opinions. Do you understand?
Yes. So what do you do with somebody who's fairly open and receptive, gets 10 minutes in and is...
You say, thank you very much, I'll be on my way. Because why do you
There you
need
go.
to force anybody to learn anything?
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, then that's the answer.
Right,
You
great.
share what you are able to share. They will absorb what they're able to absorb. If they wish to absorb no more, you've done your job, move on.
Correct. And by being the light, you are showing the path.
That's it. You have perhaps shown them everything they needed from you. Remember, we are sharing this information with all of you because this is what it excites us to do, not because we believe you have to pay attention or listen or understand anything that we're saying. We would do this anyway. That's the point. It's not about whether you believe us. It's not about whether you apply any of this. We know that you'll get a beneficial effect if you do, because from our own experience, we know that's how existence works. These are formulas. This is physics. It's energy physics. That's all it is. What you put out is what you get back. But you have to know what you're putting out. You have to be clear about the definitions that are creating your experience of reality. It all boils down to an age-old phrase of two words, know thyself. And the more you know yourself really clearly, you will understand what you have bought into as a belief system, as a definition that you say is true, that doesn't necessarily have to be true for you. So we know that all of you will take this information or leave this information. It doesn't really matter because we leave that in your hands because we have our own lives and we don't need to control yours. No, thank you. We have more than enough life to live on our own. But we share this with you because we know it can benefit you, but you're the ones that have to make the decision that it will and apply it. And if you say, all right, well, that's enough for now, then that's enough for now. We don't care. We love you unconditionally. You understand?
Absolutely. Thank you for your unconditional love and showing the way.
All right.
I appreciate that. I'm going to get out of the way for the next person. I just wanted to know, we often ask ourselves around the kitchen table, what's my highest excitement in doing the dishes?
Well, it can be. Many people find it a very meditative act to have their hands in warm water for so long. And it puts them in the proper state where their imagination runs wild, like standing in one of your showers. Many times, many of you have said, well, when I'm standing in the showers, I get all these ideas. It's like a meditation chamber. Washing your dishes can be the same way. At the same time, do understand, we're not saying it has to be done this way, but sometimes if something is truly not your excitement, and you're just not making it seem like it's not your excitement with a negative belief system about it, you could also attract someone for whom washing the dishes is exciting to do them for you. It can work that way. I'm not saying it has to, but it can if it is truly not your excitement. Nevertheless, give it a chance. See where it takes you. You may be surprised when you actually just get into the act of being present with something like that, how it can be extremely transportive and take you places you never imagined you could go. As many of your Zen monks say, chop wood, carry water. In the simple acts of physical life, you can find deep truths if you allow yourself to go to the correct space from which to do those acts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hello.
And to you, good day.
Hi, my name is Teddy.
All right.
It's a very
Speak up so that
Yeah,
all
it's,
may hear what you have to share.
It's a very sensitive subject.
Are you sure you wish to talk about it in front of a group?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So we are witnessing lately a huge migration from Syria and Europe. It's millions of people are.
Yes.
And what's the spiritual meaning? What's?
Well, there are many different kinds of sociological and political changes going on your planet. You are getting everything out on the table, mixing things up to decide what kind of a world you really want. Putting everything out on the table all at once and saying, this is what we prefer, this is what we do not prefer. You're mixing it all up because there isn't much time left in the cycle of limitation that you've been living for thousands of years. So you have to get everything out in the open in front of your face to deal with it, to change things, to shift things around in a different way. You have to know exactly what's going on with everyone. Yes?
Yes.
So?
Thank you very much.
Does that help you?
Yes.
All right. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
And to you, good day.
And to you, good day.
Is it okay to ask a couple quick questions?
Well, that was one question. You want to ask another one?
Well, all right, cool. So you were introduced as Daryl being able to channel a group of beings, and Daryl referred to you as a he.
We are telepathically connected to many other beings, but I am an individual. I am a male in my society of extraterrestrial beings.
Awesome, thank you. And is it possible for others to channel you?
No, but for other members of my society, yes.
So when Daryl leaves his body, that's going to be the last of this information?
No. But the point is this information comes through many different sources, in many different ways. And by the time, in that sense, it is time for this channeling not to occur this way anymore, it is quite possible that we will actually be physically among you anyway.
Is there an ideal diet for humans?
Ideal diet?
Diet.
Whatever works best for your body consciousness. Now, we understand that many of you are accelerating your energy, you're lightening up, and therefore you don't necessarily need as much sustenance or as dense a sustenance. But if your body consciousness says that right now you do need something to keep your body going, then at the very least, make it the most natural, lightest, organic thing you can. And respect the energy and the consciousness in the food that you do consume. Have a relationship with it that is a positive and constructive one, in much the same way that many indigenous societies on your planet used to have. The idea is that you will naturally find what you need and what you feel the urge to eat, and the things that you no longer need, you will lose the urge to consume. But please also do remember that when you, in looking at it very often from a one-sided perspective, consume something from nature, you're taking it into yourself and not only making it a part of you, you're becoming part of it. So as you consume nature, nature is consuming you. It's a two-way street, not a one-way street. So sometimes it is one way to allow yourself to identify in nature as nature more strongly. But again, by simply following your natural path, your natural rhythms, you will know exactly what you're truly attracted to consume and what you no longer need. As long as, again, you are truthful within yourself, honest within yourself, clear within yourself, these things will come about naturally. You don't have to force yourself to be more spiritual. Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you.
Go with the flow of your natural rhythms. The synchronicity in your life will work for you in a natural way and allow you to divest yourself of what you truly no longer need, and you can streamline yourself that way through a process over time, quickly or slowly, doesn't really matter. It's whatever is perfect for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
A couple more quick points. Some respected people have been saying lately that the Earth is actually flat. Can you comment?
Well, in your physical reality, I think most of you know it is a sphere. it doesn't mean that there aren't other dimensional forms of the Earth on different planes, and certainly on one-dimensional form, the Earth is flat. But only a portion of your consciousness is focused there. The consciousness that I'm communicating with right now does have a piece of themselves in that dimension where the Earth is perceived to be flat. But for the most part, as you are evolving and becoming more aware that you are higher dimensional beings, you are experiencing the reality more in a 3- or 4-dimensional and eventually 5th-dimensional way. So in that sense, your focus is not really on the flat Earth, your focus is on a multidimensional one, which represents itself in your reality as a sphere. You can see the truth of this, the example of this, anytime any of your astronauts go into space and release a bubble of water. Anything free-floating in space in 0 gravity will automatically form a sphere, not a disk. You understand?
Yes.
So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Final part, are we each eternal beings?
You are all indestructible, infinite, eternal beings, even though you are creating the illusion right now that you are finite.
Great, thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes, that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To elaborate, the reason you know that is true is because if you understand the nature of existence, and obviously you exist, existence only has one quality: to be. That's it. That's its nature. It's only isness. That's all it is. So if you exist, you are part of that isness, and you cannot become non-existent. Non-existence is already full of all the things that will never exist. There is no room in non-existence for the things that do exist. And again, looking at it another way, you know you will never become non-existent because by definition, non-existence doesn't exist. So how can you go into something that doesn't exist? You will always exist even though you may change your form, your perspective, your experience of yourself. The fundamental perspective of all that is that you are, the unique point of view that you are, can never cease to exist. So no matter what level of creation you're experiencing, you always experience it from your point of view. Even the idea that many of you talk about blending with the infinite, becoming one with all that is, will be experienced from your point of view. You will become all that is. You will not disappear. You will be all that's left. Does that make sense?